some of the craziest, most contentious points of Dust 2, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of those battles. On Dust 2, however, I think this is just really a question mark of, are we going to see a third map? Like, G2 are sick on this map. I feel like Dignitas came very close to making it a potential possibility to see map 3, but to beat G2 on Dust 2 would be enormous.
Well, the other thing is about that car position is we know that G2 do have smoke strategies to counter that very position. They do throw out the smokes. We've seen Shox even throw one from long in the past, but this is the build-up. We are looking at Rubino with the Dig, and a little bit of utility in the form of MSL, and on the other side of things, just the kit left onto body. Not going for anything too crazy, but in terms of the setup, we've actually got a couple of players at long at the moment.
Yeah, spread out, but still grouped 2-3. Scream looking for the aim for the jump. Oh wow, that's crazy. And taking some pot shots, not going to be able to get one though, and will probably have a hard time falling back, though he has a teammate take attention away from him. Very nice. And now has made his way to Game Helper. Some headshot angles, but Config still erases him, and Rubino with the deagle is looking for the shot. No, can't find it. Smiths evens out. It's a 3v3. The bomb will get planted. Control of long is taken, but a lot of health lost on Dignitas.
Yeah, the timing of that split was good. They just didn't see Smiths coming. Shox over on short body. Actually going to try and retake long with the combination of Smiths. They're going to go together here. They've got to get rid of Cajun. He's going to be the bait. He doesn't have any health. Cajun missing a lot of shots and will eventually be punished now by Body. He's going to make this move. He has the kit as well. Shox is baiting them towards short as they try and retake it. Magisk is down. It's all onto MSL. He had a good first map, but it's not going to be enough here. Shox rips his head off. That's the round for G2, and Smiths, massive impact.
Yeah, enormous impact. Get into 2 frags. Essentially, we just saw G2 win a 3v5. You wouldn't regard the round as that because they didn't have time to cool down before it was a 3v5, but Smiths finding those 2 trades staying alive, hella important. And then Shox, as Dignitas decided to push over Cat because they had lost control of long. This Cajun took a little bit too much time to get that first kill. Maybe could have got the second one. And decided to try to isolate Shox on Cat, but he was too nuts. Got both of those kills for himself after the bomb was down.
Whoa! Speaking of Shox, though, there he goes. MSL with the Dig. Starting things off nicely. They will pick up an SMG. Not the most valuable weapon when you don't have any armor, but definitely the potential to make money behind it. And that's always something to take into consideration. Of course, they only have 1 rifle on the board. That's in the hands of Body. And, of course, the sniper onto Smiths. Looking like they're edging their way towards the B side. Now, they do have the rotator position of Scream. But other than that, this is going to solely rely on Body. The good thing about his position, though, is it's quite a long-range angle, and he does have a M4, but now he seems to move away.
I don't know why. I mean, I guess he's going to come back, but yeah, this group up towards B could have caught him off guard. And he also has the best gun in the server, so a lot of kills potential here, and he's going to look for the lineup. Will he be able to shoot one down? He does get one, and Scream's already there to help him right away.
Nice little crossfire there. Eventually, we will see all the players drop. Scream getting a 4K in that round. And, well, it looked like it could have gone back the other way. Definitely by some of the timing positions. But Body, he does play it well in the end. And Scream, well, he just has everybody dragged towards him. Makes a nice bit of cash with the SMG and finishes it off with the pistol. So, AK's back on the board. A bit of a bonus round coming out for G2 at the moment. They keep the Scout, the SMGs in play as well, but a lot of utility, something that's definitely limited at the moment for Dignitas. But something they don't limit is weaponry and aggression straight out long. Already taking quite a bit of control. RPK, well, you always speak about the idea of trying to retake this, don't want to give this position of the map away. It's going to be very difficult, especially when the AKs are in play now.
Yeah, no, a lot of resources have been expelled already for both sides. Actually, Dignitas only have a single flash now. They've got 3 smokes, but only 1 flash to help complement the smoke. So the G2, even though they're at a weapons disadvantage, have a little bit of utility left. And it's actually mostly in variety, are kind of running low as well.
Yeah, well, they did rotate Smiths to a longer position. The fact is, Dignitas, they've decided against going for that push. Could be a limitation in their utility or just the fact that they haven't actually found any kills by taking over long. They will leave Magisk there, so there is still a presence towards long, but the ultimatum they have made is to go back towards the B site. This leaves a couple of players left to try and make something work. The flashbang is going to go out, and now we wait for this push to come in. They got 40-odd seconds to go, so not anything too crazy. They now have the rotation. Well, Magiski could be crucial here. Now looking at the push. Body, he finds the first. Going for the second as well, gets it. Now down to Scream, but he peeks out wildly and his trades across the board as Magisk finds another one towards middle. 2 players rotating in. Magisk is just going to be a pain in mid, and well, a lot of damage being done. Smiths with the scout, of course, tagging away, and this does give us a much better opportunity for RPK with the SMG, especially if he can catch Cajun, who's very, very low on HP, but he finds the headshot. Important that he does. Now Smiths has a decision to make. Is it really worth going?
Is he going to hear, though? Yeah, he's going to hear this. So they know that there are 2 players on site. They know that Cajun, actually, they might not know that he's hurt. Oh, he's all alone, however. I thought they had a teammate, and there's Magic Boy. Really important. He ended up getting 3 kills in that round, right? One from his lurk, coming late to mid, and it was kind of cool. They escorted him out to long. He threw not like a huge fake, but just caused presence on the other side of the map while they were grouped up in B, and they timed it so that he walked in. But Body picked up those 2 frags, and I thought, wow, G2, it doesn't really matter. G2 relied on their sight holds once again. They have this locked up, and 3 kills come out of nowhere. So good cleanup overall. G2 now don't have much money. It's just a bit of armor for RPK. And oh, Scream.
Yeah, an interesting position, boosting up on the box, the corner. Has to fall back in the end. Of course, Deagles, we've seen them make high impact already all the way across the tournament. Bodies, 3K, absolutely influential in their win. Of course, coming down to just 3 rounds, and I think there was probably about 5 or 6 rounds that came down to huge individual performances. Flash through middle. Not going to go anywhere too aggressive. And MSL looking to pick up these sort of entry kill roles at the moment. He has been pretty good. I think dropping 22 frags in the last map. Scream now holding this position, trying to go for a jump shot. That nade could actually be detrimental. Doesn't actually connect. A little bit too far back, and we are still waiting.
Oh, Scream just trying to get info, and looks like not super hungry for a fight. Not exactly in that choke point. Will just lock down the door, but players coming through window probably get to shoot him in the back. Comes through the door, gets killed by Magic Boy, and that's the B site, so the split is successful. 40 seconds left, going to put the bomb down. Overall, pretty quick rounds. And G2 are instantly just going to posture up for exits.
Smith's losing his head. RPK has a little bit of Kevlar, which could be of some value as they try to go for something in the next round. Shocks not going to have any impact, and if he could get a gun, that's the best case. I don't think there's too much more that can be expected of him right now, and well, even just taking that little bit of damage means that there's no just buying the head armor for 350. He will have to fully purchase if he wants it. Probably just going to go for the Kevlar anyway, but he'll be dropped. Now G2 going to have enough money to go for that rebuy, maybe even an AWP onto Smiths.
Really good by Dignitas to steal back the momentum. They're running a critical round from the 3v5 spot. I mean, same thing happened on the pistol to them, so maybe it was just their karma to pull that back, and it might have been more of an important round than anything else. So at this point, both teams fighting to take a lead at a very crucial point in the game where not a lot of money has been made, and RPK goes down instantly on this long hold, and it's actually Shocks, with the patient shooting, managed to get 1, but traded out instantly by MSL, looking very favorable for the terrorists right now.
Now they have long control again. It seems to be somewhere they're having quite a lot of positive momentum, able to take over these positions. Scream goes for the peak, the timing almost there. He gets MSL, in fact, but Config is very quick on these trades, and this is good work by Dignitas, keeping that man advantage in check. Body has gone for a peek over towards mid, but he has 2 positions to hold on to right now. Smiths looked like he was holding the cross, but he's still aware that they were towards long just moments before, so he's going to have to peek all the way around, and by the time that actually happens, they're going to be heading their way towards B. Only a minute left on the clock at the moment, and you just have to look towards Body. His position, he's got to do so much work here. He basically has to end the round on his own, or at least get 2, so this is huge pressure. The flash actually going to be thrown out. They know exactly where he is, though, and Config, he's ended this round in his track. There's no hope for Smith here. He just has to save this weapon.
Yeah, he felt it coming, that timing, but he thought that potentially someone would come late on the mid walkout and that he could just focus on tunnels and try to set that up. He was just a moment away from being able to shoot and take a fight like fairly. But ultimately, it's all about Dignitas trading really, really well.
Ooh,
down to the last kill.
Cajun's going to get the AWP, so that's a free upgrade for him. Waiting late into the round towards the spawn, and well, Smiths doesn't have any armor, so he's quickly losing his life.
If G2 are going to have lackluster TT sides, they will be put to the test by Dignitas. This is the team to do it. They will really run you dry and have a lot of different strategies, different approaches, and it's a way to dismantle you. And if you're too afraid to get aggressive, G2 are too afraid to get aggressive, might cost them. So wouldn't want to see that. They run on confidence, and they usually run high.
Yep. In terms of buy, no utility, no armor, just some pistols, and, well, I say just. Can make an impact. There's Smiths with one, looking for a little bit more. There goes Config, though. Should be able to find both kills, and this leaves just Shox left to try and do something with the Dig. Almost manages to grab down Rubino, but 10 HP is enough, and he'll just keep his rifle into the next round.
Yep, and you just got to go round by round. We're going to have another rifle round coming out for G2. I wonder what the spells for them in terms of how much... Just got to put RPK on the hot seat. 6 rounds into the game, 0-5. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, so not the best start for RPK. Smiths back on that AWP, and MSL going for a little bit of a bonus, but this is just because of aggression. Actually caught out with a nade in hand there. Screen peeks out, but it's still only going to be one. This leaves Body completely isolated on the site. Luckily for him, Shox has come in from behind, but he's down to just 1 HP. He's actually in the smoke. They're surrounding each other at the moment. Body comes out, but Config is there. Ends his life back to a 3 versus 3, but in the meantime, Shox has actually retaken B.
Wow, what a
Rubino with a nice shot onto Smiths, and actually now they're all but set to go back towards that A side. They've completely opened it up. The rotations have been primed and ready. Now Shox, he's realized what's going on, but there's absolutely nothing he can do about this because they're already going to be on the site. They'll have to just go for some sort of a retake. RPK ready and waiting. Shox has got himself into CT, and we'll now hear that bomb being planted. Actually, he's got so close, but Config again. Big round coming out from him. This leaves just RPK. There's his first kill on the board. Looking for a little bit more here. Got to find the headshot onto Cajun, who's peeking with the AWP. 5 Rubino, but that...
They're going to play off of you, react, and that's how a lot of French CS works as well. Very reactive style, but they are answering with their own. Oh, Scream takes a lot of damage, and he has armor to work with, so he's going to be quite upset about that, I'm sure.
Magisk sprays down both. Nice control. Finding these early frags. Shox going to go for the flash. Actually blinds up a couple of players, but Config ready to take that kill. And this is looking clean at the moment from Dignitas. Only Scream left, who was tagged down by 81 to 19.
First man hurt, last man to die. Again, he's not in a position to like get super aggressive here. He can try to look for a pick, but anything he peeks will probably just be answered by some terrorist holding an angle. It looks like they're playing it pretty safe. And it's because he has not much to lose, and Dignitas know this, so they're not looking to lose any more guns, and good on them for realizing that. Making sure they work as a unit to keep their money healthy. Because in Counter-Strike, your money is your team's money.
Yeah, of course, available to drop if necessary. We are, of course, just going to wait for Scream. Not going to die in this round. Of course, keeping a Deagle and some armor, they are rebuying in the next, so there is now the potential for him to even drop an AWP of something of the sort over to Smiths, depending on how much money he actually saved up into this round, but that could be a big difference for them, so not really a big problem. They will, in fact, go for a double AWP setup. I think they did buy it themselves, which is fine, of course, but it does mean that he's able to get a little bit more. This time the tag will not come in for Cajun, but already they have 6 rounds on the board, and Dignitas are looking much, much better, but there goes Scream. Takes the peak early on. Quick to trade his Config, though, so not too much of a problem just yet, and in fact can even end up with an advantage for the T side.
I always like the double AWP adjustment to come out when you're losing rounds in a row. You save up for this setup, and you're putting a lot into it, but you're also giving yourself a much better chance of performing trades. And the flash comes out. What an interesting flash. Oh my gosh, it works out beautifully. The headshot not coming out quite yet. RPK struggling with it, and then getting caught off guard by Cajun, and the trades once again looking really good for Dignitas. 3v3, and then in the 5v5 sometimes it's CT sided, but these 3v3 type scenarios where you only have one person, one CT per site, it can get really risky.
Now Magisk getting quite far out mid. Shox gets caught, and that's going to be the advantage now over towards Dignitas. Again, it's going to leave Body alone on the B site, and it does look like they're just going to slow walk through tunnels. This guy is going to have to do so much work here. I don't know if he's just spotted other players. It is going to all, he definitely knows now. Everybody coming his way, and Magisk takes his head clean off. And Another round that is almost certainly going the way of Dignitas. And they are just methodically cleaning out. The Molotov will catch Cage. Actually catch him twice.
That's a spicy
He's actually
round
just
from
going to
Cage.
wait. There we go. Now he knows. Bomb plant, nice and easy. Smiths,
Cage
all he
manages
can
to
do is look for an exit.
addicted to the heat. Can't get enough. And yeah, I love seeing Body getting put to the test over and over again. It seems to be a very apt B player, but he did just get caught off guard. Last round he got caught off guard throwing that flash. That seemed like it was potentially going to be a really good play. And kind of unfortunate timing for him. I think in this situation maybe could have just been a little bit more static about what position he wanted to be in. And it seems like wanted to get up on double stack, but took too long to make that choice. Oh.
Whiff from Smiths, the potential to force an AWP rebuy. They now know exactly where he is as well. This could be the clinical moment. Molotov's going to go out. He's just got to try and survive.
Involved in, yeah, this buy is much better. You know, they go down around, but ultimately to have an AWP, to have these three kits, Smith's coming out, Dust 2 Opper, Extraordinaire, opening frag on Cage and B, taking him out of the round. This is one of the only times they've gotten 5v4 and just held on to it for a few moments.
Yeah, already Cajun is out of the round. Rubino will recover that AWP, and a much better start. Smith's doing his job, and well, he's now gone back over towards Car. Of course, in terms of presence, they are looking like they're about to flash straight through mid, going for the smoke on either side, which allows them to get quite far out. Actually looking to go for a boost here as well. This is quite a smart decision. I like the idea.
This thing is so meta. It's like this smoke, and then people don't often even play off of it, but CTs always check it and to try to call it out. And it seems like he almost saw the head of a player right there. Scream taking some damage. Going to push out of the site with his teammate from window, though. And there it is. The kills come out. They make it happen.
Yeah, Magisk will manage to trade one back, but that's it. It seems like the decision to go for a little bit of a save in the last round has actually paid off quite nicely. Of course, nice little round there. The crossfire, we see Shocks doing damage actually from mid, so possibly a little bit of a gap in the smoke, or also the smoke just fading and taking their time too much. Scream, one kill could have actually played much higher dividends than expected. He will throw out the smoke, which is more of just a gap. Smith's going to get taken low as well. Magic's really giving a go at this. He's only got 25 seconds, but Smith's is pretty much alone here. Oh. This actually gives a good opportunity for Magic to get all the way onto the site and plant the bomb. That's exactly what he's going to go for. Planting it in the corner. That's already not a bad position from him. Peeks out. There goes Body. He's picked up that AWP and he will take him down, but still more than possibly expected. The secondary AWP will also be picked up as well. So something more to play with in the next. And G2, they're back on the board.
Yeah, that was really careless of Smiths, honestly, to jump up on the site like that, to try to take that frag when he could have delayed on ramp for the rotate when he knew that someone was there. He should have been lucky enough to have avoided that dope-ass one-way that Magic Boy threw to do damage, that he survived that. But G2 overall, 4 players alive, really solid round, just trades across the board. Shocks up against the wall, getting that second kill, super nice from him. And then mid B just comes to a halt.
Oh, there we go, though. Smiths this time is going to be lost, taking that peek towards middle. Cajun this time gets his revenge. The secondary AWP will be picked up by none other than Scream. Not the most expected AWPer in the team at the moment, and may even go and swap that with Body, depending on the positions they're actually playing. We are looking at Shocks very aggressive at the moment, and he's got to be careful. They're about to come around the corner. He's missed the shot, and that's going to be a config. He takes that frag, and this leaves the side open. Screen will actually trade one back in the meantime, peeking aggressively, but they now know this is an A hit. So much for RPK to do. The flashbang has done its job, but he's going to get blinded straight back. Now have to push all the way back towards the spawn. Not going to go too much here. We are looking at the position of Magisk again, holding angles. Body and Scream both isolated by the Molotov, and you do have to wonder whether this is actually worth challenging. A lot of after plant positions of 4 versus 3. The smoke, in fact, going to block them out even more. And look at Magisk. He's come around the back, goes for the spray down, finds both kills. That's nice work on the exits. Not going to allow anything to be saved now. RPK, he will take him down eventually. Actually grabs a second as well, so doing some more counter damage. But that's all it's going to be, counter damage. Maybe a save of an AWP as well.
Yeah, it is kind of important because Dignitas just came back to win the round right after G2 lost. This is going to be nothing but a hard reset. However, RBK picking up this off is a really great fight. It makes this next round quite scary for Dignitas. But Cajun coming right back, opening up with a pick against Smiths. Both AWPers getting neutralized. And it was actually Scream to recycle the up and finally get a pick for his team. But Shock's not getting a kill on Cat. That was really rough because he was aiming to the left, got shoulder peek from the right. And yeah, this was really nice shooting from RPK. He, in my opinion, is kind of like the Mahdi of the team with just his aim. Insane headshots, kind of moves around pretty slowly.
Oh, look at the aggression. This crossfire's doing wonders, though. Body finds 2 with the pistols. Smiths grabs 1, or Scream, sorry, and it's going to be that backward position now. 2 versus 3. Smiths has an AWP in hand. Looking for something a little bit more here. The rotation already coming out from Shocks. He is going to be on that flank point. Caught with an aid in hand, though. Config adds this back into an even scenario, giving the T-side a much better chance of holding on to this. In fact, in a 2v2, you almost have to favor them. Here comes that push. Kajum's ready, finds the first, looking for that second, but Config chimes in. Really nice hold there.
Fall off, you know, jump into CT and then get back to safety, which is a common thing to do. And when you have like 5 players jumping over,
That's amazing. That's amazing. They're trying to avoid the scope of Cajun, so they boost on each other's heads.
No. Well, not only that, but they were trying to avoid being
Sneaky,
spotted
yeah,
whatsoever, so that they could bait Dignitas into rushing B. Because they don't necessarily know how many crossed, but leaving the door open means that Dignitas are going to count, and they're going to be like, oh, only 1 crossed. So let's go B. There's really no reason not to.
That's amazing. I love it. And actually,
I didn't know how many people got away with it because it looked like they just were getting spotted, but maybe they did.
Rubino already going to find 1, and well, this is where you wonder if they do know how many players there. They've already hit body as well, so
I don't really like if you're going to stack the site and get in the site, then I think you really need to stay hidden until you get to your choke points because you're not winning duels long range. If they go mid B, they're going to be posted on window. So why take that duel, I wonder?
Yeah, Shock's also isolated. We'll open this up now. They're going to have to go aggressive and Config with the spray control. Nice work there. MSL, he'll close this out. So the idea, seemingly a good one, but I like the execution of it more.
Yeah.
Just to see the x-rays of it just looks absolutely batty. But
yeah, it's comical. And how we moved in the last round of the half, I can't believe I'm seeing this, but a 4-11 potential half for G2. I mean, potentially a 12-3 half for Dignitas. I guess the better way to look at it. 4 ops and an auto sniper. Actually, yeah, everyone's going for an aggressive pick as well. Should be an effective way to open up the round, but no picks have come out just yet.
Yeah, of course, not losing any players in the last round means that all the weaponry that they had prior is still in play. MSL actually going for an aggressive peek over towards B. Body in combination with Screen. Again, still we do have Smiths on that AWP. Definitely hasn't had the impact which he is renowned for on this map. This is the one map where you go, you know what, this is Smith's map. This is the map where he is, well, arguably one of the most influential players. Either way, there's Rubino. Quick kill. It is body to trade, and the smoke will allow the T to actually fade back. Not a bad trade, of course, for the T side. Again, no utility for the CTs at the moment. They have a few flashes, but that's about it.
Yeah, Stream tried to catch him off guard, and it was really a timing thing, but I think Body could have just like tossed a flash in for him. Oh, maybe he doesn't even have one, actually.
That's a big problem. Utility. Still very slow round coming out from Dignitas. They're just going to play with this man advantage, or not man advantage, but this even position, which does normally still leave an advantage for the Ts. Of course, Shocks is actually rotating back towards the B site. One of the big problems they've had is the fact that Body has been isolated over towards this B site, and now we look to see whether or not they'll actually go in that direction. Still playing this very slow. 2 players are around that long position, but actually Smith's holding on Car means that this is going to have to be an RPK showdown. He's ready and waiting. He does have time. If he drops this bomb, there goes Smiths. He does rotate quickly, and Cajun caught out. Smith goes huge.
Damn.
That's it. No scope with the AWP, and well, it's looking like an 11-4 as Smiths. That's going to be a tough one to come back from Screen. Going with that Deagle. Smiths with a little bit of utility, which should allow them to peek out as well versus Magisk, and now they are just going to take over long control. Of course, the USPs do have that sort of favor, but I guess this is where Scream has to step up with this Deagle. Looking for the shots, not going to find the first, and Magisk is happy to take this challenge. He knows that he should be winning these longer range duels, especially versus the Glock. Cajun, that's a nice shot, and the second as well. Going for a little bit more. Smiths will manage to cross over, and Scream did actually take Magisk down. The boost comes out. Config missing a lot. Smiths, he's going to bring this back to an even scenario as the push now comes in. Scream finding tag or two. There we go. Scream brings it down to just one. And Rubino, he's got to try and fight this back after a nice start to the round from Cajun. It has all fallen.
Oh, that was actually such an interesting and creative pistol. That's not necessarily over, Rubino. Wow, wow, that was honestly one of the sickest pistols I've ever seen. Like, the long smoke wasn't good, but let's say that landed properly and Cajun to get those 2 frags. That's a really decisive round right there. And yeah, but what was really cool was they had Scream posted up in pit and gave him a gun that's like better for long range on the pistol and had him just take the attention away from everybody at long. They threw the flash over to make sure no one could corner peek. Round went exactly as planned, and all the while they had all the troops march up the side of the wall and then cross the smoke without anyone really knowing. It was really cool.
Magisk with an awful lot to do. Deeg not going to combine there, but Config's found one. Quickly traded out. RPK will find that frag, and well, Body's already got the AK over into pit. Already a little bit of a rotation in terms of the CT side, but they're still holding quite far back. They've got Cajun with the scout. Shox is waiting for them to rotate through. 2 have armor, 1 without head armor, and there we go, MSL with the Deeg doing the damage. Back to a 3 versus 3. They get to really take this long control, and well, Cajun is holding with the scout. He finds the tag. These tags are so much more valuable, especially now that there's a Mac 7 in play, or Mac 10 even in play, and that's a nice shot. MSL doing the damage, looking towards Screen. The bomb is on the site for him. He's got to try and find these shots, but they're all so low at this stage that a couple of bullets, even a chest shot from that D could in fact do the damage. Look at Cajun, he's up close. We know how effective this jump scout can be. Scream, he's going to hit that one tap. Looking for a little bit more Body. There we go, finds a shot. They are bringing this one back. Rubino, he still has his 5-7 in play. They don't know his exact position, but now he's been spotted by Scream. He knows that he can go for this safe plant. Sat behind the boxes, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He does have cover. Gives a little bit of a chance for Rubino. Finds the first, but not going to connect the second.
Wow, really close call for Rubino. Almost getting that 1v2. That first kill, huge. But I like the double peek. Again, I mean, some teams play it really safely, but once you got that guy crossing cat, your goal is to try to hit them while moving. Ideally, it's when they're pressing W because it's super hard to counter strafe that. So like running forward at you as opposed to like A, which is really easy to counter strafe. But either way, out in the open, nowhere to run. That's when you want to. That's when you want to pounce.
And now we look towards this aggressive push. Of course, this is a good opportunity now for them to get back into this game. Rubino up close, not going to achieve anything in this circumstance. They have done a little bit of damage.
They'll just run up the doors.
Look at this aggression. They know what they're up against. They're just going to go all the way through, try and take the challenge and just show their dominance in this anti-eco round.
They just feed off this. They feed off the aggression. They try to get hotter and hotter, right? Get that snowball bigger and bigger, rolling down the hill. It's like a team of Nevermores. Every time they kill something, they get stronger.
There's a chance for an exit here. Scream's pretty low on HP. RPK also getting tapped away. Smiths will add another little extra bit of money, and eventually Shox will close out that round. So a clean one for G2. Looking at what the CTs went for there, because they actually completely saved into that round. Or was that the... No, that was the next one, wasn't it? They've already bought up with the pistols, of course. So yeah, now we come in with a buy. And that's why we saw Shox get rid of his SMG, and this is where they really do look to do the damage. They don't have an AWP, of course. Cajun not going to be able to get that back in play and play that classic car position, which he is so amply known for. 3 players aggressively pushing out towards long, and they are just going to make sure that they take that fairly convincingly. It does leave middle open for the beginning part of the rounds, but with Rubino spotting, they should know roughly if anything comes aggressively through.
Smith's going to try to make his value known on T side with this op. And the Xbox smoke coming out. This is good for shying people away from cat, even if you don't use it, but also allows you to have cover from mid as the standard, more classic way to use it, obviously. Everyone posted up right here, and it looks like they might just do something right away. Got one man, I think that's Shox to go late long. Dignitas might clue into this. Won't move too quickly, but if this is really going to come down to who gets these kills right away.
Config is underneath, but Body takes him down. And quick kills from Body, 2 headshots to open up this round. Magisk, he is trying to bring this back. He's very effective from long. And he's just going to try and hold on to this position. And he's actually going to take it, but it's quickly traded. Body, he's doing all the work in this round. Got himself 3 kills. And look at the remaining 2. Rubino, MSL. I don't think they have too much of a choice here but to save. And What a big round coming out from Body.
Man, Body being just, it always blows my mind how amazing Body is as a player, how good he's gotten as well. And yeah, 3 headshots like that. Both the entries, spotting Config falling back through the smoke and finding his head somehow, and then turning around, dealing with the other guy at A, just dismantling Dignitas in a situation where they were set up perfectly for a cat exec. Had 3 towards A, had 1 to keep the long guy honest. That was Shox, and Magic's boy, the only one to get kills through that smoke, was a late long rotator. Did his job, but no one else could contribute.
And this does give a bit of a legway back in.
On a full buy, but
he's managed to get Shox back, $600 as well, by using the SMG. Rubino does so much damage. Look how low they are. This actually gives a good opportunity now. Config, he's found 2, and that's a hell of a lot of damage considering all that was 2 saved weapons, a buy-up of the UMP from Magisk to balance out the cash.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a lot of damage. I mean, it seems like some of those bullets on another day would have just been 2 headshots right there, but unfortunately for him, this is not one of those days. Now, Dignitas are going to be responding with a double op setup. Rubino only has 5 kills so far in this game. It's going to be one of the people offing right now. Oh, there it is, number 6 in a very important round. Takes down Shox on the repeat, punishing for that.
And already a lot of nade utilage doing damage to the remaining players of G2. Of course, the man down early on, not the easiest thing to come back from. They do have another AWP in play at the moment onto Smiths, and on the CT side have a double AWP setup of their own. Utility-wise, don't have too many Molotovs, just a few smokes and flashbangs, mostly onto Config and Cajun, meaning there is still opportunities now to find holes, especially when you look at the amount of utility being held by the T side.
Oh, it's actually A that's a little bit weaker right now, but there's no way that Dignitas are going to be set up any other way because they have 2 ops. So they're fortified, really, right now on both sides of the map equally. And over on Cat, the only difference right now with this Cat take is Shox isn't around to deal with the long player. But last round, he failed at long, and they still won because Body hit the entry. So I'm saying, as long as he's still alive, there's still an opportunity right now for G2 to win.
Looking like they're about to throw these smokes straight in. Flashbangs to follow. Counter smokes have fallen out, which gives a good chance now. The smoke will land straight in front, but it's Config this time doing the work. Cajun once again finding these frags, and it's all down to RPK, at least to do some damage. Looking tempted to jump back down there. Finds a kill onto Cajun. Looking for a second. Magic jumps up, but he'll find the frag.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Config. Another wrench in the plans, actually, from CT. This time didn't get blind, managed to avoid the flash and be in a position to get the kills instantly as they spawn dropped. So a little bit of confirmation bias for G2, who tried that strat previously and were able to deal with him so easily. Now know that he's also a threat, and that shuts down one of their options. Another full buyout, though, however. G2 within 3 still. And it's missed with the op one more time.
Again, we see Magic's getting into that long spot with a little bit of support from his teammates early on. I do quite like that aggression, because if there is a rush, they're definitely fortified and ready for it. However, it is going to be slightly delayed, and this leaves a lot in Magic's hands. They're already getting very close onto him, but the flash is perfect. It actually catches him as well. That's the only problem, giving Scream the opportunity. The smokes have been thrown in just for this very take.
Oh, right over the smoke.
What a shot there. Finds that kill, leaving just Config on the site. He's got so much to do. Wants to try and retake short, but Shox is not going to allow that. This is the site done and dusted, and well, you have to look at Rubino MSL. Don't think this is worth the challenge.
Oh, that's awkward. Oh, not enough time remaining on that molly to kill him. But wow, Body over the top of that smoke. That was an excellent long take. They really got out there quick, and sometimes if you wait too long, like, you have to succumb to the flashes of like Magic's boy in that situation, but he didn't give him time to set up, and that was really good. So they do it. Everyone contributing on entries there.
Now looking to try and end the lives of a couple more players. MSL hasn't actually been spotted. The footsteps will have been heard, so Rubino should be aware that somebody's coming in his direction. Actually, MSL is there to cover, so nice work there from the team to try and keep this going. They want to keep these rifles in. Of course, the AWP, very valuable for them, and it has been a backwards, forwards couple of rounds. G2 up to 10.
Also, that was so sick from Shox, wasn't it? He took that fight on Cat, took like 40 damage, 60 damage, and then fell back to a headshot angle, and then just took the fight from there, and then just won on the headshot angle. Like, what's up? Aim at me.
But that was a big point as well, because if Config had won that battle, they probably would have gone for that, because he would have had short control.
Short control, yeah.
And that, it just completely changes how the take goes. He could have even peeked back in at some point, or if they retake long, they have 2 avenues to attack from. So big kill coming in from Shox, an impactful one nonetheless. Still at 10-12 though, so Dignitas have their lead. The only problem is all they have in this round once again is these 2 saved weapons. So Rubino on the AWP. Not going to drop that to Cajun, mainly probably due to the armor, but with an AWP it normally doesn't matter too much. In fact, it is just because he's going to go fairly aggressive here, looking for RPK. You wouldn't expect him to peek this one completely dry, and in fact, he's not going to do that. He's just checking if there's any further aggression. Again, short looks to be the play.
Yeah, now this is bittersweet because Rubino has this info. Look at this A stack already, so even though he didn't get killed there, they know that it's going to be this side of the map, but they have avoided the AWP, and it's actually an eco. I didn't notice that. Everybody's got pistols to work with.
Yeah, there's only a couple of rifles in play. MSL is one of them, and he has found himself a kill. Shox quick on 2 trades. Headshots all the way, and that's a lot of kills in a little amount of time. Rubino, well, he may look for an exit here now, just escape. Yeah, smart decision, exactly expected, and he's just going to go running for the hills. 40 seconds to survive. He looked like he was tempted to go for another peek towards long, but decided against it.
Yeah, way too valuable at the moment, so it's good that he's turned around. Tail between his legs, going to go save this gun. The man is, Shox gets his feet planted on the ground, starts counter strafing back and forth and just aim mapping. You know, heads are going to get popped.
And, well, the big thing to highlight now, so that's going to be a 7th round this half for G2. 1 has come in for Dignitas.
Yeah, overall very successful. And they were able to force the reset, right? At some point, I can't actually press tab and check for myself, but
I think they'll have a buy. Yeah, they did. They definitely won one in the sort of mid round, but I do think they have a buy now because they were just saving the saved weapons from the previous round.
Right.
Will be coming in. So that's definitely going to be a buy on the board, and they've saved an AWP. So that even if I do think Cajun will probably have enough to buy his own one anyway, but even if they don't want to do that, they can just drop that over and save themselves some extra cash.
Rugga's like, do I really want this beard?
And that's actually what that's actually what they've done. Magisk, in fact, ends up with no armor, which is questionable. Rubino takes an aggressive peek, and it does actually work out now. Magisk, he has no armor, but holds the angle, and actually does way more than he should have been able to achieve when he doesn't have any armor there. Just holds it nicely, looking for more his body. Config running straight through the smoke. He's completely blind body. Actually not going to spot him. Scream with the AWP will save his teammate's life, trading this back into an advantageous position. Not sure if Config got a little bit lost there with his line of sight, but a lot of low HP players still gives a huge opportunity. MSL, he's got to be careful though, because Scream, he's now back on a rifle. Not the AWP anymore. He was, of course, towards long. He will hear that being planted, but the steps he's just made could actually give away his position. Scream looks ready and raring to go for this peak, and he knows exactly where he is. The sound does give him away, leaving just Cajun, and once again, looks like they're going to just have to try and save this AWP. Back to 12-12, G2.
Wow, yeah, tied up after an 11-4 half. Never thought we'd see this. Never thought we'd see this. And they so frantically tried to retake A going through the smoke, and it was actually G2 to run across, smoke up everything, jump on the box, but not go farther than that, wait by the smoke. And because of that, Dignitas assumed they were already on site, like getting ready to plant. Nope, they were just waiting for you to push and punish you.
Key decision when looking in hindsight, but at the time it may have seemed like the right one to make. You can see they are going to go for the eco in this round, just the AWP, and well, Cajun is actually going to go for an aggressive push. Definitely the right decision here. He's got to make a play with this AWP. I think they've saved that AWP now for about 3 or 4 rounds in a row on different players, so it has been in the game a lot longer than probably expected. A long control once again will go, but there's actually 4 players around this A site, just leaving one MSL with 18 HP in the corner. It's not going to matter though, as Shox enters onto the site. Again, as said, they've got long control, but they do have to be careful. Magisk, in fact, going to find one, but now we have to look at this AWP. This is where Cajun, he has to go huge, and he misses the shot completely. RPK is going to open up, actually finds a second as well. Now we look at just some sort of, well, throwaway frags. They just have to try and run and do something crazy. Not even going to find anything.
I have some sympathy for Cajun at that moment. He like unpeaked for like 1 second, came back, and there's like 4 players there. I'm sure his eyes just went crossed. Like, how do you even pick a target in that situation? That's really tough. He just wanted to get out of there. But
yeah. Well, that's it. The second time I think that they've run down that left side and caught out a player on the side. Or was that on the other half?
Yeah, they did it on the pistol. Yeah, they did it on the pistol, and it works really well because you can't op the close wall unless you're out by barrels, in which case everyone can see you in the first place. You don't really have a place to hide. So yeah, a very powerful thing once you have long control to be able to do that. No doubt.
A lot of utility, double AWPs, AKs, plenty of leftover cash for G2 as well. They almost look primed and ready to take this one over the line. Rubino actually gets caught out, but MSL is there, still on the site, looking for the trade, the flash. Scream finds two, though, and now Smiths has found one on the rotation. A retake of this B site looking ever unlikely as Magisk and Cajun go all the way back towards long. And this round is as good as done. Again, they're going to have to go for a save. Will have a buyback in the next round off of the drop of these players, depending on how likely they are to stay alive.
Yeah, I would have actually. I don't know if they wanted to try to find this. Cajun might have a shot here. Body probably got the message. He actually has the info that players were on cat, or excuse me, towards long. They mollied him out and he decided to walk through it. And now is going to be taking a fight. This should be a kill. Oh, yeah, he's spotted. Tries to go bait out a shoulder bait with a shoulder peek. Doesn't do it enough times. Gets killed. And Cajun might have a shooting gallery. I don't know. They're going to boost up, maybe double peek, but he's too low. He's isolating them quite well in their shots. Wow. Not the man you want to see, looking right in the eyes of Cajun. Yeah, winning that op duel. Magisk is going to want to recover this op, but he's getting pushed up on.
Yeah, they actually don't know where he is, so he will spray down too.
Nice.
That's never lost faith.
Not for a moment.
But one round so far on the CT side. I was sort of raving about how good sometimes Dignitas can be on their CT side. Not looking like it at the moment. Missed shot from Smiths will mean that Pit has been taken over. No AWP, of course. That was based off the save idea that they would have had a fall by. Instead, they don't save anything. Smoke, however, will leave Smiths with no choice but to fall away.
So we identified the setup. We got one player, looks like he's messing around in spawn, might be jump spotting in case it's G2 to try to go for mid control, and then two players towards long. So a heavy emphasis towards A in general. I think config being in spawn. And it looks like we might be in store for another cat take, which is really cool because one round we've seen it go swimmingly, another round we've seen it fail, fall flat on his face because config was able to pick up the slack. That bomb getting dropped is really bad. That's a huge tell.
Already though, Cajun doesn't have his AWP this time, so just has to do the work with the rifle. Is a competent rifler on config again. This time he only gets one, but these flashbangs are actually buying so much time. There's not chance of running out of time, but that flashbang is primed and ready, but it's not going to get a kill. Two line up. And actually it's going to be RPK to find it. Magisk again, he's been so influential from this long position in the past. He's got to try and do as much as he can, but Body is going to end his life getting down to the very end of this. And
oh man, and that's it. And then G2 get match point off of that. Another buy, like similar to the one we had last round. Single kit on config, single smoke on config. Actually, MSL has one as well, but that's not going to go a long way.
They've already won 11 rounds on their T side. They are looking to make that 12 and take this one over the line. The buy coming up against them is not a good one. 4 Famases, about the same in flashbangs as well, and 2 smokes to follow those up. 1 kit in the hands of config, so hoping that there's not a bomb plant. The aggression from Magisk is basically a counter, but he shot 1 bullet, so Shox will know he's there. But Body's quickly traded. Config ready on short. He's still actually holding. Scream going to go for this peak. Smiths holding with the AWP. They're tapping away. Cajun's going to go down. A little bit aggressive there, especially once his teammate has fallen back. Shox taken down, though. Config still trying to do the work. Rubino will be traded out. Config hits actually another dink, and they're very, very low at this stage. MSL is going to rotate in, and he will be waiting for his teammate. Config, he's trying to take this one all on his own, but RPK has other ideas. It's all down to the in-game leader, MSL, to try and bring this one back. Smith's holding with the AWP, but he's not ready for it. RPK got to hit these shots, spamming away. He's down to just 37 HP. MSL not going to do it. RPK has closed this out. G2 make it through to the final.
Oh my god, they actually do it. I mean, I expected G2 to get to the final until we saw the run from Dignitas, until we saw that game that they just played on Cobble, and then this one on Dust 2, and it's unbelievable how close they actually got. But they couldn't do it. G2 just too sick. The entry's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's going to be hard for Team Dignitas. They were very, very good on their T side. It has to be 11 rounds. Probably could have made it 12. It was only the last round. Smiths going absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Remember that round now, and well, you think about it, they got 1 round on their CT side. Wasn't enough, and G2 showing their prowess on the T side.
incredible stalwart defense, showing that they're tenacious, resilient.
Of course,